Hello, legal-minded friends. You're probably wondering why I have my driver's license covering up my personal details with a bunch of screws. Well, that was the best illustration I could come up with, so that you don't get screwed. The meaning of the phrase "don't get screwed," which is slang for don't be conned, swindled, cheated, or scammed. A legal term would be don't be deceived or defrauded, and fraud involves intentional deception for an unlawful or unfair gain, and it can violate civil or criminal laws. What am I talking about? I want to share with you the latest internet scam. It lures you in with a shocking claim that laws are about to change. It preys on the vulnerable. And even though I saw this in the UK, it could happen anywhere in the world. What am I talking about? Hi, I'm Karen Cole, and let's get started. Have you seen this news going around the internet? UK Gov, and it has a T driving license rule. Big changes from the 11th of November, 2025. They're trying to say that there's big changes. Drivers over 55 and above will face more frequent renewal cycles, for example, every 5 years or every 3 years, depending on age. More formal medical vision assessments are required when renewing a license for drivers in older age bands. This is fake news. I have spoke to the DVLA, and they are trying to get these websites taken down. So if you see them, you see where it says you can click feedback, click that, and put, so when you click that, say, where is it? Inaccurate content, incorrect, fake news. So just write confirmed by DVLA. This is a scam. So yeah, you can write something like that, send it back, and then you close it. So what is going on? What the scammers do is they find a bit of real information and they try to convince you that something else is happening. So I went to the UK Parliament House of Commons Library to find out what's going on. And there is an update that came out on the 23rd of October 2025 regarding driver's licenses for over 70s. And there was reports suggested that the government is going to update the driver's license renewal process for the over 70s, including the system of self-declaring medical conditions to the driver and vehicle licensing agency. That's the DVLA. The government has not yet officially announced any changes. So, is the government going to change driving license rules for the over 70s? Recent media reports have suggested that the government will change the process of renewing driver's license for the over 70s. For example, articles have been reported that those over the age of 70, could be banned from driving if they fail a compulsory eye test. However, the government has not announced any changes while the government is considering the current licensing system and the challenges posed by an aging population. It maintains that the current renewal at age 70 process remains as is. Any changes that the government does plan to make will likely be announced in its upcoming road safety strategy, expected in late 2025. So, what the scammers are doing is they're taking this update and they're trying to scare people into clicking into something. and it's very dangerous if you click in, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And you see, this is another update that came up on the 7th of November, 2025. So what the scammers do is they see these updates. So now we've had 2 updates, really. And this is on the official gov.uk. And they've done a press release. And you can see it's like just recently, a couple days ago. And so they are saying that the DVLA modernizes diabetes rules for bus and lorry drivers. So for our American friends or North American friends, lorry drivers are truck drivers. So the new changes will enable bus, coach, and lorry drivers with diabetes to use continuous glucose monitoring systems. So from today, the 7th of November 2025, bus, coach, and lorry drivers with diabetes will be able to monitor their glucose sugar levels using modern technologies such as continuous glucose monitoring systems, which use sensors to track glucose levels in real time. So you see what the scammers are doing. They've taken 2 news updates where there is a change. In this one, the law has changed, and then they're preying on those because they think, oh, people are familiar with this, and they're going to say, oh, is there another change? So that's how they get people to click on it. So what happens when you click into some of these nasty websites is that you'll get a message that says your phone was hacked, and this is a form of scam. And it happened to me today when I was researching because I couldn't believe how many of these sites that said, if you're over 55, you've got to change, you've got to renew your license and get an eye test. And, it was so real. It was unbelievable. And how I knew something was up about it was I did get a pop-up text message. And what it's saying here is, because I looked it up what it meant, because I knew not to click it, because how the scam works is it creates this sense of urgency to trick you into acting without thinking. And once you click these links, it can lead to fake websites that steal your personal information or download malware that infects your device. These are not real security alerts and should be ignored. So yeah, and that's exactly what happened to me. I wish I would have been able to click it for you, a screenshot, but I just scrolled out of it quickly so that I didn't click into it. But yeah, it was a pop-up text, and told me that I had to click it straight away to get rid of it, to get rid of the malware. So yeah, don't click on them. Ignore these pop-ups. Close the browser window or the pop-up immediately, and do not interact with it in any way. And that's exactly what I did. So I thought I'd want to share that information with you. So the other thing I want to point out to you, and I've put a couple of driving government agencies on the screen so you can see what they look like, but they're all government agencies. And it took me a couple hours to reach the agency in England, and they told me that they're having a lot of problems trying to get these fake sites down that have this bad information. So they said they will always put any updates to new regulations on their website, so it will be in their press release or in their websites themselves. Now, normally, if you see an HTTPS, the S stands for secure, indicating that the connection between your browser and the website is encrypted, and that is protecting data from being eavesdropped. So if you're putting information into one of those sites. It just means it's encrypted. However, it does not guarantee the website itself is safe, as malicious sites can still use HTTPS to encrypt its traffic. And you'll notice if you scroll back to the beginning where I was trying to find out if it was true that there was new rules for renewing licenses at age 55. That website has an HTTPS. And so it did give me a pop-up, and it was a malicious site. So do be extra careful and keep yourself safe. So don't forget to check out our playlist on driving matters. I try to put information in there that you can use no matter what country you're living in. You'll find it interesting, just like today's video. It's information that you can apply to your own area, wherever you're living. I'm Karen Cole. Information is power. Please like and share, and subscribing is free. So just hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. What are you waiting for? And if you do want to support this channel, please look under the video in the description area or go to the join on the homepage. Speak soon. Please let me know in the chat if you've ever been scammed, or you've had a situation where you are getting information that you're not quite sure and you just don't know how to check it out to make sure it's valid. So let's get a conversation going.